EU opened up the skies, blowing aviation regulation into thin air. The boom in budget airlines took off, with Britain in the EU driving seat delivering this deregulation. Today, it can be cheaper to fly to Croatia than get a train from here to Clacton. What gets agreed and written down when Brexit finally gets defined will have a wide impact for years. 1 in 4 vets in Britain come from the continent. Here at the Adam Brooks for the Animal World, nearly 2/3 are from elsewhere in the EU.
But first, let's go to our reporter Simon Dedman, who's in Heidi Allen's constituency in Cambridgeshire. And Simon, what are people saying to you there?
Well, Rita, when Heidi Allen got elected here in 2015, she could have expected to be an MP, frankly, for as long as she wanted to. This seat is a stonkingly safe Conservative seat. There has been certainly some surprise by some Conservative members I've been speaking to just up the road in an area called Camborne. But a lot of people actually saying that they would still support her. She is still close to the Conservatives. Her constituency office is next door. Today we expected the lid to be lifted on the independent group of MPs and what flavour of politics they would be. Hello there guys, what can I get you? Serving voters at the Shelford Deli in Heidi Allen's constituency, I offered them a special menu. Would you be sort of keen on Theresa May's Conservatives, Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party, or perhaps a special we've got on the menu courtesy of Heidi Allen, the new independent group?
Heidi Allen is very personable.
Janine, within the next hour we should find out who is going to replace the former leader John Klempner on Harlow Council. In response to this interview, the new leader, Emma Toll, has said that she's sad that John Klempner decided to resign, but it is his decision and that the local Labour Party just wants to move on. Well, in this first interview that he's given, I asked him why he decided to quit.
The Labour Party is a deeply unpleasant place right now. And I do worry for the future of the Labour Party, and I worry because of that for the future of the country. If I'm being optimistic, I might say, the Labour Party might come to its senses nationally. That'll take at least a decade.
The last CQC report said some patients were at risk of harm, routine operations were cancelled, and surgery was one of the areas rated red for inadequate. And whilst today's CQC report says Colchester requires improvement, there have been some remarkable changes. Surgery is one of the areas now rated green for good.
Migration has been answered. We're all a bit frightened of it because there's just too many people smothering all countries, not just us, Europe as well. But we do need the free market. End of. Do a good job, Theresa May. Don't let us down.
Our future with the EU is far from black and white. This morning I've spoken to 100 people here in Hertfordshire. 70% want Theresa May to get as much single market access as she possibly can, versus 30% who want her to control our borders, control the number of people coming from the EU. The shackles of current custom rules between Britain and the EU could break within weeks. Businesses like ATL, who are bound to Europe, want politicians to provide some light as to what Brexit means in terms of their trade, in terms of their future. If there is one thing that unites most of us right now, it is that we just can't bear to hear any more about Brexit. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but whatever happens on March the 29th, Brexit Day, we will still afterwards be talking about the B word. Will you be resigning, Ms Olasanya? Will you be standing down as an MP? The jury thought so too. They found her guilty of lying. She and her brother will be sentenced in the new year. If she gets a custodial sentence, she will be the first female British MP to go to prison. Have you got anything to say to your constituents, Ms Olasanya?